We are hoping here to have Solomon on the line. And Solomon, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Solomon, wonderful. You're with Feed the Hungry and you are in Uganda right now, and just our privilege to be able to talk to you. We've been talking about these children. We've been talking about hunger. I wonder if you've got a little insight into what's happening in day-to-day activity as these children are coming to the schools and they're being fed.
That's what we call a miracle when kids that never expected to have food from anywhere because they find themselves in a foreign land, no provision and no expectation whatsoever. And then food from people they never expected to get from finally comes into their hands. And, waking up challenged, not knowing whether you're going to eat or not, and then finally you are sure of getting a meal. That's a miracle, and I thank you for that.
And interesting to use the word miracle, because miracle is something we say, this is what God does, but miracle is also the way he uses his people to meet needs. And so for someone who's making a $6 donation today, and that $6 finds its way into the hands of Feed the Hungry and then for food into the mouths of hungry children,
Yes.
These children are actually praying for these sorts of things to happen. This is part of the spirituality. I wonder if you can tell us about the spirituality around Feed the Hungry, your focus on the gospel, and in having these children pray for these things to happen each day.
One of the things that amazed me was when food delayed to come and the kids raised their plates and they went to pray because they expected God to provide. You'd see all the orange plates in the air and they were raising up their hands, believing God for a miracle of food. And then somehow food starts coming in. And so the kids know how to expect from God. We get time to teach them about how God answers prayer. And the only hope they have is God, who opens and touches hearts of people to be able to provide, like what people are doing right now. It's a miracle for these children.
And the school is a part of that miracle too, because they are in a place of learning and their hope for the future, for a career, to break any cycles of poverty and to be able to ensure that they're able to eat. The food as is one part of the miracle, the school is the other part.
Yeah, but the food is the motivation to bring the children, and that's food in schools, so that even those no future can to school. So, two things. You that current president, that nation will.
Solomon, we're breaking up a little bit, and I might need to cut in here because for listeners, you might know that when you've got a stream coming from Uganda, might not always be absolutely perfect, and we're speaking to Solomon live from Uganda. It looks like there might be a little bit of an upset with the way that link is happening, and so if we can come back to Solomon in just a short while, but he is in Uganda. He's with Feed the Hungry and sharing those insights around those children who are being fed with the donations that people just like you have been making. $6 to feed a child for a whole month. And we're looking to feed 25,000 children today for a whole month. Here is how you make your donation. How many of these children can you feed? 1, 10, 100? There's even some who've extended to 1,000 children. How much is a donation you can make? $6, $60, $600, maybe even $6,000. Here's how you do it. Go on to the Vision website, vision.org.au, click on the banner, or pick up your phone and call 1300 00 5514.
This is Vision, and today is Takeaway Hunger Day. It's Mandy and Neil in studio with you. I've got to tell you that we had a goal of having 2,250 children fed this hour. And we are currently at 1,639. So we are well on our way. Not much longer of this hour to go. So now's the time to dig deep and ensure that children are going to be fed in Uganda for the next month. $6 a month to feed a child every day, which is amazing. We want 611 people this hour. We've only got... what do we got? We've got 12 minutes to get through the end of this hour. Neil, we can do it. And the number to call
yes,
is 1300 00 5514.
Now, we're back with Pastor Solomon Mwesige, and I did say he was in Uganda. Actually, he's in Melbourne. You've come to Australia, but home base for you is Uganda, Solomon. But I want to ask you something particularly special here, because these children who are coming to school and who are being fed with donations like the ones being made today, there are significant things that happen with children. And you've shared with us that even the current president of Rwanda, another nation there in Africa, went through your Feed the Hungry feeding program some time back.
Yeah, he was in Rwamwanja refugee settlement, where we have a feeding program, and where these children come and they can now dream again. A hungry child has no dream. They are actually a starving child. There's a difference between hunger and starvation. So they have no dreams apart from eating. But once fed, they dream again to become doctors and leaders. And you can see what is happening in some countries of Africa, like Rwanda. A president was a refugee and now a president himself.
Wow. So when we've been talking about some of these children who are in your care in Rwanda, the one we talked about last hour who wanted to be a doctor, you're saying this is happening, and you've got the runs on the board now. You've been doing this for quite a long time now. Children are moving out of schools where they've been fed and they've moved into careers that could be nation-changing.
Yes, exactly, because this is what happens when they are fed and educated. Then they dream again, they are empowered, they are trained, and come out with a skill that makes them beat the odds.
Okay, Pastor Solomon, when you reflect on the spirituality of these children, they're coming from South Sudan. Some of them are coming from Christian backgrounds. Some of them are not. They're coming from a big mix. How are they when they're coming into the school setting, and how significant is the Christian spirituality in the school?
Oh, it's a big one, because now mainly those coming from Sudan are predominantly Muslims, a mixture of Christians and Muslims. And now they find us with Bibles that we give unto them, trained pastors and ministers that handle children's spirituality. Also counseling, because these kids have gone through a lot of trauma. They have seen all the bad things, and the only hope that can make them think and become normal again in their way of thinking and looking at things is Jesus Christ. No other way.
Wonderful to hear from you, to hear your heartbeat, and I know that listeners today will be inspired to hear those words as they're making their donation. And remember, on Sunday morning this coming week with Phil Edwards, Pastor Solomon is going to be his special guest on Sunday Morning Together. And I know listeners will be looking forward to that too. Pastor Solomon, thank you so much for sharing your heart and your insights, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again over these next couple of hours. Let's not delay another moment. How about making your donation for this special day today? It is Take Away Hunger Day. Suspended everything else on the radio programming. Today our focus is on feeding hungry children, those in Uganda. Our goal is 25,000 children by the end of today, by 6 p.m. Eastern today. Just $6 a child feeds that child for a whole month. Here is how you give. Go onto the Vision website, vision.org.au. Click on the banner there to make your donation. And you can also pick up your phone, if you don't have your internet handy, 1300 00 5514. That's 1300 00 5514.